Well, those were fun times for sure back 2002 when the Heisman Trophy winner was a man named Carson Palmer out of the University of Southern California. And he joins us now. Jordan Moore, Sean Cody, Max Brown with Carson, the newest college football Hall of Famer who will be here this weekend. And Carson, let me get to the hard-hitting ones first, man. I got big Sean Cody next to me. I want to know your first impression of Sean. Remember he was supposed to come in, be the savior of the program, 5-star. Did you put him in check early?
Sean was the man. Sean came in with a ton of hype and came in with that frame and that bulldog build and came in and earned a name and respect for himself from the jump, for sure.
Well, thank you, Carson. I appreciate that. But I'm going to get to real questions here. Jordan's here fooling around. Carson, you were here in a transition phase of USC. You know, you go from Coach Hackett and you're going to Pete Carroll. What was it like going through that transition? This team is going to maybe a similar transition, changing coaches. What was that like for a quarterback going through that kind of transition?
It's obviously tough because there's so much change and change in terminology, change in the program, and really everything. But there's something exciting and refreshing about it. That change is sometimes good, and it's a whole new system to learn and just more things to experience from a quarterback's perspective, especially. So I think there's some really good with it and some tough parts about it too.
Carson, Max Brown here. I'm always intrigued because you came to SC during a time when, SC wasn't winning national championships and it maybe wasn't the sexiest school to go to. When you were a recruit, did you have the mindset that, hey, I'm going to come in and be the guy and put the program back on the map and win a Heisman? Was that part of the dream that you were sold on that you ultimately accomplished?
No, I mean, I some of those things were things that you hope and would be amazing things if they happened, but those things aren't what make the experience. I was excited about the experience, like you said. I mean, just the history, the tradition of the university. At first you want to go make sure you can play and belong and win a job and earn a job. So I was excited about all that, but winning the Heisman wasn't on my mind early on.
You're listening to Carson Palmer on Trojans Live, and he'll be there this Saturday. So get in there, welcome him back to the Coliseum. I heard you earlier today. You said you were there a couple years ago, but you've had this long NFL career. What are you enjoying most now about your life after football?
Kids. That was one of the things I was so excited about when I decided to retire a couple of years back. Just not missing practices and performances and just all the things that come up that I had missed because of traveling or just even in the off season with different commitments going on. So just really kind of diving back in and had a really fun, time age-wise with my kids and just getting to be a part of that. Coaching, I get to coach my son's 7th grade team, which is a blast.
You had a game today, right? Did you have a game today?
Tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow.
Huge game. Everybody's talking about it. Huge, huge game. We're 1-3 right now. We're fighting. We're trying to get better every day, but no, it's so much fun. It's a blast, and stepping away from the game's really giving me a great chance to do fun things like that with my little ones.
Carson, I want to reminisce with you, man. Take us down memory lane of your time with the Trojans, man. Like we talked about, you go through that transition, and you're up until your sophomore and junior year. The Trojans are struggling, and you get with Pete, and you guys, kind of flourish, and you take that thing away. And I really credit you and Troy and Charlie Landrigan, all the Malifo McKenzie, these kind of guys, these old kind of guys that really set that program in the right direction. Obviously, we had guys moving forward, kind of watching you after that. But what was that like, kind of being those stalwarts of that time when you guys were kind of the pillars of the young guys were looking up to you guys, and you guys were kind of the pillars of Pete's program there?
Yeah, it was just such a great group for Pete to come into. I really think, having that kind of leadership, taking over. When you take over a team, you take it over because it didn't win very many games the year before or the year before that. So he was coming into a team that wasn't really good, but had some great leadership. All the guys there's so many guys that are a part of that in that junior and senior class of his first year that with Pete's energy and all the things that make Pete, help his success. One of them is just a buy-in. by the players. And that leadership bought in to all of Pete's kind of, fun, kind of hokey, corny, fun, but, positive stuff. You got to have that kind of leadership buy into that style. And that group, I mean, the guys you mentioned, and there's 20 more that were part of that junior and senior group, that was just a great way for the young guys, like you said, the young guys to come in and see the older guys doing it right.
Carson, going back to that 2002 season, you win the Heisman, you beat Iowa in the Orange Bowl. At that point, did you get the sense that was laying the foundation for a decade of dominance to come? Were you wary of the special beginning that was happening for the USC program at that point?
I mean, I was hoping for it because I was talking a lot of trash, especially like my rookie year and then really my second year. But I could never have imagined that amount of success. I mean, what Pete did was and all of those players did, but just really Pete's tenure was truly amazing. When you stand up those numbers and the amount of success and the talent that came out during those years, I would never have seen that coming. Man, but obviously, you just look at the handful of years of that dominance. I don't know that anybody saw that happen, and just kept happening year after year after year. It was amazing.
Well, it was a heck of a season. It started with a couple early losses, so you never know. That team flipped a switch, and then you guys just took it from there, and on and on as history goes. So we will welcome Carson Palmer back.
Yeah, I'm gonna give Carson. I need a big hug, man, when you get in there, man. A big bear hug before you get rolling those guys down the tunnel.
We will see you on Saturday.
Can't wait to see you, Don.
All right, thanks so much, Carson. Appreciate it.
I can't wait.
Go win that game tomorrow. We don't want grumpy Coach Carson in the Coliseum on Saturday.
No, we're coming back 2-3, baby. We'll see you guys soon.
All right, thanks so much. Hey, speaking of award winners, hopefully future award winners, we talked about earlier, our guy Drake London, he is on his way to a great season, leading the way for the Trojans. Another big game on Saturday. We'll talk to him about it next. You're listening to Trojans Live.